Hi, everybody. This is Thea, the dietetic intern at Terrific Inc. And since this is National Nutrition Month, the month of March, I really wanted to go over a lot of the principles that I've been talking about at the different sites and locations that I've been at over the past few months. So this presentation is called Eat Right and Light. So, first, eating the right way. So, this is pretty much a synopsis of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about eating the colors of the rainbow. So, eating different colors of foods, using My Plate or an example of My Plate, how we can get less sugar, more whole grains, less saturated fat, and more physical activity. So, the first one is eating a variety of foods. And so, this is a perfect description of how I would like you to think about your foods, which is eating the colors of the rainbow. So, we have red, orange, yellow, green, those purple and blues. And then, even at the bottom, even though there's not the quote unquote white foods, those are going to be included in this presentation as well. So, throughout the day, or even the week, I really want you to focus on getting a wide variety of food. So most of the times we're always talking about eating your green leafy vegetables, but we also sometimes forget about the other colors that we want you to get as well. So here is a list of different foods that are in the colors of the rainbow. So we have yellow, blue, red, white, orange, green, purple, and brown. So with yellow, really anything in the squash or citrus, lemons, yellow peppers, mangoes. I'm pretty sure you can think of some other things like sweet potatoes or squashes or something else that have those kind of yellow colors. Now, yellow and orange can you can see kind of how they are almost the same in terms of some of the foods. So we have oranges, pumpkins, carrots, peaches. I'm pretty sure, again, you can think of some other foods that kind of encompass that yellow-orange type of color. The same thing can be said for blue and kind of red and purple as well. They kind of all mesh together in terms of their color when you're eating them. But things like blueberries, plums, blackberries, red cabbage is still kind of a bluish color. Tomatoes, strawberries, watermelon, raspberries, grapes, eggplant, blackberries, purple cabbage are all kind of those blue, red, purple type of foods. Green, again, we can probably think of a wide range of foods that are green: kiwis, green apples, spinach and kale, and all of those leafy greens. Avocados are considered in the green family. Some olives as well are kind of considered in the green family. Now, going over to the white and brown. Again, they're kind of almost encompass the same food group, but white can be considered garlic, cauliflower, onion, and I did put banana down there. Now, with banana, you're going to think, oh, it's a yellow, but when you peel it, it's white, right? So we're going to put that into the white category. And then with brown, you have mushrooms, nuts, beans, and potatoes. And although some potatoes are different colors, we're still going to put that into kind of like the brown family. Even if like it's a purple potato, we're still going to put it into the brown family. So encompassing and eating, trying to eat all those, I know can be really tricky. So if you can try and eat like 2 or 3 in a day, that'd be great. So if you had like spinach or some type of lettuce on a sandwich, that can be considered, I don't know, about a half serving of a vegetable. And then we love our fruit. So if you try and get like maybe some tomatoes, grapes, and some peaches and kind of like a fruit medley, that would be considered 3 different of the colors in a serving of fruit. And then if you had maybe some squash or something or a zucchini with your dinner from your rice and maybe chicken, then you would get another color with the yellow and or the green. So not saying it's easy, but if you really think about it, you can try and get different colors of the rainbow when you're eating your foods from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and even your snacks. So this is a really good statistic that in 2010, so that was 10 years ago, so we're actually doing another kind of dietary guidelines for 2020, there's a report that said people only get about 59% of the fruit and 42% of the vegetables that they should be getting. And so that's not a lot. So in general, Americans were not getting a lot of the fruits and vegetables that we need. So, I mean, 59% is over 50, but 42%, that's not a lot. So we're going to go over some ways to try and increase that number, if not individually, but as Americans as a whole. So My Plate. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen My Plate, heard My Plate. I've talked about My Plate before, and it's really kind of the easiest way that we can put into a diagram or put into a visualization of how we can try and get your colors of the rainbow or getting you to eat all 5 of the food groups. So you have your fruits, your grains, your protein, your vegetables, and then your dairy is here on the side. So the dairy is on the side, which would be like milk or yogurt or something. But if you have cheese on, your chicken or something, that can be considered maybe a half serving or so of dairy. So a sample dinner could be meatloaf, rice pilaf or just regular rice, dinner roll, a cookie, milk, and then another beverage of choice. So you're getting different food groups. You're pretty much getting all of the 5 food groups that you should be getting with the My Plate here. And you're also getting some stuff that you like and some stuff that you need. So whether it's a cookie or some type of dessert or something, that would be kind of like the treat that you're getting. But you're also getting your meat, your grains, your vegetables, your grains again, and then your dairy with the 2% milk. And then your beverage of choice could be water or unsweet tea or something like that. So you can kind of see in a sample dinner, and the foods and the lunches that you all are getting from Terrific pretty much go in line with My Plate and the USDA guidelines for what a complete meal should look like. So I know that sometimes the lunches may not be exactly what you'd like from day to day, but they do give you all of the nutrients and all of the food groups that are required by the government. And you also want to try and have your staple foods too. If you have something that you really, really like, you can have it in your home. So like I like peanut butter and crackers. So I try and make sure that I have at least peanut butter in the house. So that's something that I know that I like. So I'll never run out. I can just go into the pantry and get some. So with portions are a bit tricky as well. And I have a great diagram in here with how we can kind of use portions using our hand. Now with proteins, you're going to try and get 3 to 4 ounces of proteins. Fats are 1 to 2 tablespoons. Carbohydrates, depending on what they are, can be at half a cup to a full cup. Same thing with vegetables, half a cup to a full cup. Now, with vegetables, I say half a cup because some vegetables are a little more condensed. Like if you have spinach, a half a cup might be fine. But if you have something like broccoli, where it takes up a lot of volume, you're going to want to try and do a full cup of those so you're getting the correct serving. Kind of same thing with carbohydrates and proteins. Now, we're going to start with proteins. And with proteins, if you use your hand, and everyone's hand is different, but this is a really good guideline. So if you use your hand, the palm of your hand right here should be somewhere in the range of the 3 to 4 ounces. Okay, so if you're having something like meatloaf or a chicken breast or whatever it is, it should be about this big. Sometimes when we go out to eat or something, those portion sizes are way larger than the size of your hand. And that's how much protein you should be getting at one time in one serving. If you're getting over that amount of protein at one time, your body doesn't really have the capacity to absorb all that protein, and it's not going to. You're really just going to excrete it. So you really want to maximize the amount of protein that you're getting at once and just eat about the size of your hand. Now, I do have your middle finger down to the base of your hand, and that's for your fish. So you can have a little bit more fish than you would like a steak or chicken or something like that. So, and the fish are usually kind of like long. So you can have from the tip of your middle finger all the way down. Moving on to fats, if you do your thumb. So this is about a teaspoon and this is about a tablespoon. So you come at your thumb, and at the first bend is around a teaspoon, and at the second bend is around a tablespoon. So if you have some butter or something, you can kind of check to see how much it is. If you can, if it's not melted by the time you get it, you can really see how much butter you should be having, and which I would recommend just the teaspoon. Okay, so at the first bend of your thumb. And the second one, or the third one, are carbohydrates. So carbs, if you ball up your fist or cup your hand, the cup can is about a cup of carbohydrates. So when we do or get pasta or something like that, it's usually like the whole, encompasses the whole plate. It should really be about a cupped hand of pasta. And that's just an example that I'm giving. And then if you want a little bit less, like a half a cup, it's around a balled fist. So a cup, you're able to get a little bit more, and then a balled fist, you kind of put it over wherever those carbohydrates are, and you can see how much are there. So those are the big kind of three macros. And vegetables, as long as they're not like doused in some type of butter or oil, you can have a big voluminous amount of vegetables. So half of your plate, we always say, is going to try and be a vegetable of some sort, and then a quarter should be protein, and then the other quarter should be grains. So fruits are kind of a little bit up here, but half or the majority of your plate should be vegetables. Quarter protein, a little bit over a quarter of grains, but to make it easy, a quarter and a quarter, half your plate of vegetables, and then maybe your quarter of a plate of fruit, which is around, a half a cup to a cup of fruit, wherever that may be, and then a serving of dairy. Okay, so we're going to go back. So how do we do that? Or how do we make eating fruits and vegetables easier? So I know you all are getting the food that's delivered to you at this point during this kind of shutdown, or, before this and after this, you're going to go to the site and get your lunches that are prepared for you. Fruits are great in the morning. Since fruits do contain a lot of sugar, having that sugar, or those carbohydrates, shall I say, are a great way to fuel your body throughout the day. So having those carbohydrates in the morning, and breakfast should hopefully be the biggest meal of the day. I know a lot of us are not big breakfast eaters, so at least eating something in the morning is better than eating nothing at all. But fruits in the mornings are great because they will contain those carbohydrates that you can use throughout the day, rather than loading up on carbohydrates at night, which may affect your blood sugar and everything, and you're also not working that off because you're going to sleep afterwards. Keeping a bowl of fruit close. So the saying, out of sight, out of mind. So if you can keep some fruit on a counter somewhere, they're more likely to be eaten because you see them as you're walking by them every day. And then also trying a variety of fruits and being colorful. So if you know that you like berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, whatever, and you're used to eating strawberries, try something else. Try a raspberry every once in a while. You might actually see that you like them more than strawberries, or just as much as strawberries, and you might be able to, or you might like to get them more often. And be colorful. So again, if you're only eating strawberries, bananas, and apples, those are great, but the different colors also represent a different concentration of different vitamins and minerals. So if you're always eating the same foods every day, you might be robbing yourself of the opportunity to get all of the vitamins and minerals that you need if you were to get a wide range or all of the colors of the rainbow. So that's another reason why we really stress getting different colors and all 5 of your food groups, because all 5 of those food groups as well have different concentrations of minerals or vitamins and minerals. So with vegetables, in the stores, they usually have pre-washed or pre-chopped vegetables, so you don't have to worry about getting onions and then crying while you're trying to chop them. A lot of the stores now will have them already done for you, so that makes whatever you're trying to make super, super easy. And raw veggies are great. So if you have the ability to eat raw vegetables like carrots and broccoli, those are going to be the best way that you can get those kind of vitamins and minerals, because sometimes when they're being cooked, those concentrations are depleted just a bit, not much, but just a bit. So to get the best opportunity of absorption, you want to try and do raw veggies. Now, I also have tomatoes and bell peppers down here. I like tomatoes. I like cucumbers as well. I'll eat those raw. So if you like those are a little bit softer. If you have some type of dental issue, those are great as well. It's like tomatoes, you can put some salt and pepper in it and slice them up and eat them like that. Bell peppers, I love to eat those with hummus, and cucumbers, I can eat those like a pickle, but you can also put them in some Italian dressing and have them like that. Now with less sugar, especially for those of you who have blood sugar issues or diabetes issues, I really wanted to go over sources of added sugar. So we all know that fruits have sugar, and carbohydrates break down into sugar. So those simple kind of breads or those white breads, pastries, donuts, granola bars have added sugar in them, or they have a very simple type of sugar that breaks down very, very rapidly. Now with drinks, sodas, pre-made teas, juices, and energy drinks. So if you are a sugar person or if you're a soda drinker, trying to get those diet sodas that have those non-nutritive sweeteners, if you're like hell bent on continuing to eat or to drink soda, I would rather you didn't, but I understand if you really, need your soda or a soft drink. Pre-made teas, so those Lipton teas, those Honest green teas, or anything, they have sugar in them. Sometimes they'll have honey, and we think that honey is a healthier version, but sugar is sugar is sugar. So be aware of those. Always look at the label and see how many grams of sugar are in that package. Juices, so those juice cocktails usually have added sugar. If you are going to do a juice, make it a 100% fruit juice. Now, again, those still have a lot of sugar in it, but at least it's sugar that's coming from the fruit itself, not added like high fructose corn syrup. And then, of course, energy drinks are going to have those as well. We all know pies, cakes, cookies, and candies are going to have a lot of processed added sugar as well. And then yogurt and ice cream. So we know ice cream, but yogurt. So those yogurts that have the fruit at the bottom do have a lot of added sugar in those as well. So if you are going to do yogurt and you like yogurt, that's great. Try and get a plain non-flavored yogurt and then add your own. So you can get some fruit or some honey or something, and then you can add your own sugar in there. So as I mentioned before, trying to stick to natural sugar as much as you can. Sugar from fruits and vegetables are the best because they contain fiber. So fiber helps digestion, and it also slows down sugar spikes. So if you can kind of think of fiber as this kind of barrier between your intestines and your bloodstream, and it slows down the amount of sugar that's hitting your bloodstream at once. If you're doing something like a pie or a soft drink, they don't have a lot of fiber, if any fiber in those. So that sugar or that glucose is hitting your bloodstream all at one time and spiking your blood glucose level. And especially those of you who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, we know that a high blood sugar level is not the best. So you want to try and stick to sugar or glucose carbohydrates that have a lot of fiber in them from whole fruits and vegetables to slow down that spike in our bloodstream. And we can do that by eating more whole grains as well. So a whole grain is actually something that has the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. And the endosperm in white processed bread products is usually what you're eating, and those are the starchy carbohydrates. What a whole grain, and a 100% whole grain, has the bran and the germ, which do contain a lot of minerals, a lot of vitamins and minerals, and that fiber that I was just talking about. So that's another reason why we're stressing for you to get a 100% whole grain, because we know that it has the bran and the germ in there to help with your blood sugar levels, and it contains B vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and some healthy fats as well. So I kind of already went over why they're better. They have the fiber and the vitamins and minerals in there. And here are some sources of whole grains. So it's not just, breads and pastas and everything. You can have oatmeal, popcorn if it doesn't get stuck in your teeth, corn tortillas, whole grain crackers, whole grain breads and pastas. We know those. Most people are excited to learn that oatmeal is 100% whole grain. And if they like and can eat popcorn, that's a nice treat at the end of the day as well. So having less saturated fat is another way that we can eat right and light. And the difference between saturated and unsaturated fats is mainly that saturated fats come from animal products and unsaturated fats come from plants and some fish. Okay, so with saturated fats, those are the ones that can elevate our cholesterol levels, and those are the quote unquote what you've heard, the bad fats. And the unsaturated fats are the ones that can lower cholesterol levels. So we want to try and eat more. There's nuts, there's avocado, those plant oils, and there's salmon right there, which is considered unsaturated, kind of omega-3 fat. Instead of these, I love cheese, I love eggs, I love chicken. Not to say that you cannot enjoy those, but the ratio at which we have saturated fat should be lower than unsaturated fats. Okay. So guidelines say that consuming less than 10% of calories from fat and choosing mono or unsaturated fats, which are those plant oils, is associated with the lower risk of cardiovascular disease. So having these can actually lower your risk of having some type of heart disease, which is, I think, is great. So you want to try and limit red meat, whole milk, other types of like whole dairies, and bacon and sausage, those really high density, high sodium meats. And then focus on lean meats. So you can still focus on meat, a lean chicken breast, skim milk, plant oils, fish, seafood. And my favorite part is get moving. So trying to exercise about 30 minutes a day, which is translates to about 150 minutes a week. So a little bit over 2 hours, which will mean a success. As little as 30 minutes a day. So the videos that I've been doing for you all are somewhere about 15 to 20 minutes. So you do one of the exercise videos with me and then maybe do a 10-minute walk wherever you are. You'll get to your 30 minutes a day. And so this is pretty much every day. So ways to get moving. So if you're not doing one of the videos with me, you can do some of these things. So a shoulder roll, we're going to try it now. A shoulder stretch. So you're stretching your shoulders front and back, shifting your weight from right to left, from foot to foot. Seated toe raises. So if you're sitting down watching this right now, you lift your toes off the ground, or heel raises. So you lift your heels off the ground. Ankle rotations. So circling your ankles in big circles. Seated knee lifts. So you're lifting your knees and your whole, your feet off the ground as well. Seated leg kicks, kicking your legs front to back, and vertical climbs, which is one of these motions. Okay. So these are actually things that you can do sitting down. Or you can do them standing up if you would like to as well, bracing yourself against a wall if needed. So these are things, stretches to get your blood moving, to release kind of tired or tight muscles as well. So we already kind of tried it. So I really want to stress trying to do this every single day. And I know it's hard, especially with us sitting in the house. We don't really feel like moving around a lot, but I promise you, if you get into a routine and a habit of doing those, and with technology nowadays, if you can call a friend, you can do it on the phone, put each other on speaker.